Okay, let me just check the audio. I'm unmuted. I hate hearing my own voice. But... Okay, let me just check the audio. I'm unmuted. I hate hearing. Right, there. I think that's it all set up. Got our first viewer just joined, so hello there. Just gonna set up. Right, let's close Trello. Let's see, anything I need to know about Discord? I don't think I need Discord open. I'm just trying to close any background processes just so the game and the stream software can run as smoothly as possible. Excuse me, I'm just woke up this morning. I'm starting to get the cold that everybody else has had. Everybody else in my family, everybody else in the office has had it except me, and I finally got it today. Map. I'm wondering if we play on a smaller map, you know. Let's do 20 kilometers. I think it's a bit too big. Let's try a 10-kilometer map for this one. See if that's a bit more engaging. So yeah, I took a day off work today and spent the first half of the day with my wife, which was really nice. And then the second half working on the game. And I decided I wanted to get to the bottom of this first-person controller issue, because every time I thought I'd fixed it, there was actually some other issue. So there were, each improvement that I did post about was an improvement in the logic of the controller, so it was still worth doing. However, I didn't fix the fundamental problem. And the problem essentially is that Unity has like its own physics engine, and that updates different things at different times. So what was happening was, if you move your mouse, it would tell the essentially it's a cylinder to rotate that the player camera was connected to. And then, so you'd see it, and then right after that, the Unity physics engine would kick in and then try and apply its own rotation to that cylinder, since it's trying to simulate the physics of it. So where the camera was actually pointing and where Unity kind of registered the direction the camera was pointing were becoming two different things. It was literally just one option in the menu I had to disable. So the way I recreated it was, it happened more when the game was under stress, so I just put all the settings to max, spawned 10 tornadoes, and then I could just click I could disable the option in the menu. FPS controller would be slow because the game was running like 5 frames per second, because I had like 10 tornadoes rendering at once at max quality. But it would be slow, but it would work. Then as soon as I'd choose the interpolate option for the physics, I'd then see that offset issue, and then I'd go back to none, and it would work again. So the fact I could reliably recreate the issue and then disable it means I'm very, very, very confident that this should have fixed it now. Another thing you might have noticed I've done, I've got rid of the generate cape and generate helicity button. I've been watching Neon's streams of it. That's where I've been getting my ideas for the last few updates. Just seeing things which are either broken or not quite right. And it's very easy to do, and I've done this before, was that you drag the slider, something like this, and then hit play, and forget that you didn't actually click generate cape. And I thought, having to do like an extra action, like there's no reason why you have to drag the slider and click generate. It's just something that's easy to miss. And at least this way you get live updates of the map as you move it. So you can set up your scenario a bit more quickly. Let's make this interesting. 600. 300. Tornado path deviance. Let's see what this is like. Let's just do 2 tornadoes max. See what this is like. I think this will be a pretty fun chase. Yeah, let's play this one. We class as a major outbreak as well, which is cool. Wow, that's loud. Let me just turn this down. For my headphones, I've got my AirPods in, so that's quite loud. Really jump scare on load, with just a crack of thunder immediately. So, right, let's see what we've got. Reflectivity. Okay, velocity is the one that's useful. Right, we need to head north. Compass is coming in really useful now. Get the headlights on. Right, so we've got the velocity on, so as soon as we see a couplet, we'll have a decent idea of where the tornado's forming. Oh, and let's actually check these settings. Tornado quality high, cell quality high. Yeah, the cell quality doesn't need to be that high, let's stick on medium. Weather quality high, text filter 8K. 60. Yep, I think those are all decent settings. Alright. I think we've got 2 cells here. No, it's just the shape of it's kind of got 2 cores on a single cell. Velocity. Let's just get ahead of it. Oh, got a debris cloud forming there. Oh yeah, and a funnel cloud. One thing I also want to test is switching to low quality, because there's some issues there. So yeah, because it's lower resolution, the funnel will have to be more developed to see the very bottom of it. But you should still see it eventually, just that we're talking extremely low resolutions here. There's high, there's low. It will look the same eventually once it actually fully develops. It's just a side effect. You're rendering at a lower resolution, so each pixel that makes up the tornado is a lot bigger, so that you can't really show the fine detail right at the bottom of the funnel. If it wedges out, I'll be able to compare, but let's plan our intercept now. So let's turn velocity off. I think we're already in position for a good intercept right at the very start here, so let's try and predict its path. We might have overshot, actually. Might have overshot. Let's zoom in a bit on that other menu. Actually, maybe not. It's really hard to tell, isn't it? I guess that's part of the challenge, part of the fun. Oops. I accidentally chose the quick deploy option. So one thing I want to check is this controller for inversion issues. And right now, everything's absolutely fine. One thing I'm probably going to do is forget there's a tornado bearing down on me and accidentally get killed. Well, you can't really get killed in the game, you just get thrown around a bit. Once the wind speed gets up to 60, I think that's it. No, we're in the wrong spot, we're in the wrong spot. Right, get in there. There we go. We need to be more down here. The question is how we're going to make it. I've dilly-dallied a bit too long. Now we're going to have to off-road. I think I'm a little bit too close. Can we do it? Can we do it? Should we just go for it? Look, even under stress, it's still rendering correctly. Right, come on, get over there. We're looking right up the funnel there. Right, we're just going to have to off-road it. I feel I might not make it. Okay, there's a road here, right? Just get north, get north, get north. Recreate that scene from Twister. I think I'm getting out of the path. It is turning north slightly. There it is, there's the road. Right. Still no controller inversion. Excellent. Let's just switch this to low quality again. I just want to check that it still renders okay. Yeah, so that's even on the lowest settings. That's your lowest setting. That's your highest setting. So visually not much difference for a lot of performance gain. I'm going to keep it on high. Right, let's take a look at the probe camera. Yeah, it's on the other side, so let's do a quick recall. Boom, instantly back in the back of the truck there. Right, let's plan our next intercept. It's weakening a bit. It gives us a chance to get ahead of it. Let's cut across the cornfield. Let's head due east. There we go. Oh, it looks like it's accelerating a bit. It looks moving quite fast along the map. Right. Then if we turn... Then I'm thinking we'll hit the road. Once we get to the road, we'll turn north, east. Yep. Try and get to this bit of road here. Oh, we've got another tornado coming towards us. We've got another one over there. And one just to our right here. One there. That's the one we're going for, but we've also got another one that's coming this way too. I reckon we get on this road and head east. Let's get back in the truck. We're behind it now. It's always so much harder to get intercept once you get behind the stone. Yes, let's look at that other one. One thing I still need to sort out the rendering order for the tornadoes. I do have like a basic algorithm, but it still doesn't look quite right. But it's better than just having it rendered in a random order. Right. Let's plan our next intercept, because this thing's at F4 strength. Oh, it's going to strengthen as well. Look at that. It's like maxing out all the parameters there once it gets near this cornfield. Right. There. Let's stop here. Let's stop. Have overshot. Let's use the real life trick to know if we're in the path of the tornado or not. Let's use that as a reference point. I think we're way too close. We're way too close. Let's just collect temperature this time. Right. Get out of here. Notice no control inversion issues. That's a really good thing. Trying to... Oh, we've got two wedges after us here. Look at that. Right, probe camera. Yeah. Let's keep heading this way. We can go for another intercept. Maybe along this road, actually. Is it paralleling this road or slightly crossing it? No control inversion. Really happy to see that. You can get stuck on the edge of the road. But that's not control inversion, that's just because, look, there's a little dip down here. You're just kind of getting stuck. Maybe I need to add a jump to this. I think are we good for another intercept? I was going to say quick recall, quick deploy. And I reckon we drive off again. Let's just rotate the camera around. Maybe an upgrade could be auto tornado tracking. It automatically points towards the nearest tornado. Let's get on there. Yeah, you have to see the control fixes working. Yeah, it's... Been playing the game for ages. Oh, at the edge of the map. Yeah, it was subtle. Unity physics engine kind of jumping in midway between where different scripts are running and messing with stuff, so I've disabled that for the player capsule and it fixed everything. Right, let's do quick recall. That's it. I need to have a look at the map to orient myself. You know, I think it's perfect. Quick deploy. Quick deploy. Have to turn around. Uh-oh. You got a bit too close. Luckily, I think it's dying out right as it's getting there. Otherwise that would have wiped us out. We can go after this other wedge here. Okay, if we can get south. Compass is so handy. Right, let's get south. Get on this road, head south. We can maybe go for an intercept in the mountains here. I say mountains. The slight hills. Yeah, the inverted controls, I'm pretty sure it's fixed now. So I was able to actually recreate the error consistently in the editor and then fix it and then recreate it and then fix it. So I'm pretty sure I've got the right thing sorted now. Right. Where did you be heading? Where's the road? Starters, where's the road? There it is. Oh wow, we're gonna have to do this quickly and then turn south. Where's south? Which way's south? That way's south. yeah, thank you for doing those live streams, Neon. I've enjoyed watching them. It's been really useful to see how other people interact, because I'm not a user interface designer, so it's interesting to see how people interact with the game and which things I've made which are a bit confusing. Really helpful in pointing out bugs, like when we have the invisible tornadoes. So I was able to just jump on and get a fix for that, like, straight away. Well, we've got sub votes. Yeah, I appreciate the live streams. I watch each one every time you publish one. I'm not always having to be able to catch them live, but always watch them after the fact. Yeah, still no control inversion. Oh, that's wedged out again. Is this coming right towards us? Let's use the little eyebrow on the end of the Jeep there as like the reference point. Or even the crosshair. Let's collect some pressure data this time. Oh, I think it's weakening. Oh, it's weakening and turning south. Right, get back in the back of the truck there. Right. What's it doing? It's going all multi-vortex and weird. It's just taking a last-minute south turn, right? It was heading this way. I was hoping to intercept along here, and it's turned south, so we're going to have to Bill Paxton through a cornfield. The question is whether we can do it in time. Corn's not rendering right now. I will get that fixed eventually, but it'll cost money. So I keep heading south, and then I'm going to have to turn slightly west. And what I'm probably going to have to do is a quick deploy right in the path. Let's zoom right in. Right, this seems like a good point. Quick deploy, probe camera. Right, and we need to keep our speed up so we don't... not sure which direction I need to go to get out of the way. This is called losing your situational awareness, and it gets you killed in the game just as fast as it does in real life. 109 mile an hour winds, it's actually really struggling to drive away. What's the pro picking up? F2 strength? Alright, there's a road here. Right, let's take that south. Because we can go faster on the road. And we're kind of running perpendicular to it now, so we can get out of the way. And that's out of the tornado from earlier roping out. Right, this is a good stopping point. Because we want to get on any of the tornadoes which start to develop. We're getting F4 strength. How well was the placement? Oh, that's pretty decent placement actually. Getting F4 from inside there. That other one, is that one still not died that's gone off the map? No. So what we'll do is we'll see another cell pop up somewhere around here when there's another tornado about to go. So let's just follow the probe camera. Kind of watch the tornado there. Turn the lights off, I think it's spoiling it a bit. Step out, watch it there. I'm glad you've had fun playing the game and messing around. That's the whole point of it. I want to make this version a bit more sandboxy than career modey, if that makes sense. So there's still going to be progression, but the idea is you can customize it and just create the type of chase you want to have, and importantly have fun. Benchmarking videos. Oh yeah, definitely. I haven't even really focused on the optimization yet, so it would be interesting to see how the performance varies solely based on, I guess, this initial implementation before I've even really gone and tried to hyper-optimize everything. I guess the main optimization I've done is use compute shaders. So for the previous version of the game, I had no idea about compute shaders, how to write them, how to interact with them. So all the calculations, like deciding where to place puffs of cloud for like the supercells, handling textures was all done on the CPU 1 pixel at a time, which is massively inefficient. So for this, I use a lot more compute shaders. So something that was really intensive for a CPU, a GPU can do in milliseconds, if not microseconds. It's on a rope out now. Okay, let's do our quick recall. Turn the probe camera off. Let's check our data. Right, let's see if we can get any anomalies and see how much this is worth. How long have we been chasing for? Doesn't actually tell me how long I've been streaming for. So I'll just leave it. But at this point in the stream, when I look back at this, we've earned $1,000. So $1,000 per however long this stream's been going on for. Right, so the logic for the game makes things spawn back in the bottom left corner again. Look, you can just about see a funnel in the left side of the screen there. So we need to get maybe to the top of this cornfield here. So let me just plan a route. I still need to create a way to toggle the, that's north. We want to be heading west. Need a way to toggle those tracks on and off. It's south and then west. Right, I'm gonna head this way. Oh, hello, Lucy Lou. You're in school right now. I can't take any responsibility for that, for being a distraction. But I'm glad you're able to tune in. Let me know if someone's watching and I can pretend this is one of those educational channels. Got finals. So I'm not. So this is an American thing. So finals. Which year is that in school? Because the UK school system's a bit different in. I guess in terms of terminology and when different exams are. Well, good luck. I think finals is an exam, right? Or series of exams. So best of luck. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. Right. If I keep heading west. Oh, we've got another cell going up right in front of us. Let's watch from this perspective. So I think if you ever saw a cell developing this fast in real life, just get out of the way, because the updraft itself is probably going supersonic. So reflectivity, okay, velocity, that's going to be our... Okay. Oh, Siri thinks I'm talking to it for some reason. The phone's going wild. But we're getting some velocity from somewhere. Let's turn north. It's picking up some velocity there. Okay, let's just see where I'm going. Right, let's head north and then west. So it should be a good. I think a smaller map's actually more fun. Went out of my way to create something which could create like 50-kilometer maps, and I actually think smaller maps more fun to play on. But each to their own. Some people may prefer a bigger map and having longer drives for realism. Oh, you're back in it, got more time. Okay. Glad I didn't get you in any sort of trouble. Yeah, in the UK, we have... Oh, it's right in front of us. In the UK, we have different sets of exams, so I'm not sure what finals is the equivalent of, but when you're 16, you do what's called GCSEs. Is this coming this way or not? Then when you're 18, you do your A-levels, which actually has some sort of determination. GCSE, I don't know, people make such a big deal about them, but most employers don't really care about them. You then do your A-levels, which I think is equivalent of college in the US. And then the A-levels those employers still don't care about them too much, but you need to get them to get into university, and then that's where you go for your degree. Midterms and finals done twice for both during the school year. Is that twice for both years or both terms? Right, we're in the path of this thing, I think. I think we could be more in the path of it. Those sound like famous last words. Right, right, let's do a quick deploy, and then this thing is flying towards us. Look at those subvotes going around. I still need to tweak those. I've got the explanation of how to do that. I just haven't set aside time to work on the subvortices yet. Midterms like end of first quarter, finals and semester end. Okay. Yeah, so it sounds similar to A levels then, which was one of my worst times at school. Hated A levels. I'm trying to get behind this thing. I'm going to get lifted pretty soon if I don't get out of the path. 10 months long, so around month 2 you have... Month 2 you're already doing exams? Month 5 finals and repeat. Oh, that... Yeah, sorry, that sounds horrendous. Sorry having to put up with that sort of education system. Yeah, because the way it works, so you start in reception in the year that you turn 4. You then go year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not a thing until year 9 that you actually have your first exams, the GCSEs, which actually kind of matter. And then year 11, I think it is. No, that's not right. Is year 9 the start of GCSEs? I'm trying to remember now. Until year 11, and then year 12 and 13 are your A levels. But that's when you actually get to choose your subjects. Choose like 3 or 4 subjects for your A levels, and you focus on those. Look at those. Hey, you really gotta go. Okay, don't let me compromise your the exams or your future. And good luck. Do you see how much data? Actually, I might not do it near the map. If I get picked up by the tornado near the edge of the map, there is a border to stop you falling off the edge of the map, but that only goes so far. If you're really determined, you can still fall off the end of the map. How well the alpha runs on an old laptop. Okay, that'd be interesting, because I was originally developing on a laptop, the GTX 1050 from 2018. Might have been even earlier than that. It might have been 2017. Let's just risk it. Let's just drive at it. And I was determined to try and make the game always run on that, but the development was so slow with it, I had to upgrade my laptop. So now all my development and testing is done with an RTX 4070. So can this thing pick us up? Let's punch the core of the tornado. Yeah, I've made like a 50-kilometer map which sits under, so regardless of the map size you choose, it just sits underneath it. It's thrown us in front of it. It's going to pick us up again. Yeah, it'd be interesting what settings you have to use for like an older thing, like if you've got anything in like the GTX series or whatever the equivalent is with AMD. But if you don't have a dedicated GPU, I don't think this game can run well at all. Probably collecting a ton of data right now, you know. Just F1 right now. Yeah, I think it's roping out. It has no graphics card. Ooh, I would be interested then. Maybe I'm underestimating the capability of integrated graphics. I imagine you're going to have to put everything on pretty low settings. Yeah, we're just kind of surfing inside the tornado right now. 138 miles an hour. I really need to just memorize the range for the F and EF scales, so I can just know it without having to think. I know F1 starts at 73 miles an hour. That's the only one I've memorized. Yeah, like we're sliding there. It's wanting to throw us. Right, and then, sorry, after this we'll do a proper chase. It's just because there's nothing really on the map right now. And this one immediately went off the map. So I thought we might as well just have some fun surfing it. See what we get, see if we've got any anomalies from there. I might just call them discoveries, just to avoid all the confusion. Well, 2 there, so it must have been an anomaly on one of the F2 samples. Right, let's head back to about here. So I pretty much just need to head directly north. Which way is north? That way. See, without the compass, I wouldn't. Since I've gone off the map, it would be quite hard to determine my direction. I have to drive quite far to know which way to go. Should run at the absolute low settings, 30 frames per second. I hope so. This game does a lot of computations in the background. And I've even got the physics involved of like splitting buildings into pieces and throwing them around and stuff. We're heading. Where's north? Right, let's go in the cut. There we go. Actually line ourselves up with the texture, because we know the texture will line along the north, south, east, west axis. Tornado's touching down again a bit. So yeah, it's one smaller, because if you imagine this being a 2D image made out of pixels, if you made those pixels huge, you then wouldn't really have any sort of definition in the very bottom of the funnel. Still, not too bad. I'm happy with that. I think I'll be pushing this update just immediately after I've done this stream. There we go, back on the road network. Let's see, any more cells popping up? Not yet. So let's just place ourselves so that whatever comes up, we've just got options north, east, south, and west. Yeah. Next thing I'm going to work on is the... hello, Real Smurf. It's just talk about the next feature I'm planning on adding, which is just going to be an object scatterer. So it's just going to drop things around the map, like bales of hay, place wind turbines, trees, random cars and such. Actually, let's keep heading north. I'll have a look through my assets. I've got hundreds of assets, if not thousands now, of different models. So let's see what can just be randomly placed around the map with that, which can be placed randomly but still not look out of place. It's like you wouldn't want a wind turbine like placed right next to the road, but you may have some like bales of hay stacked up next to a road, and like tractors and stuff like that. So at least we can start to see what the physics looks like as the tornado interacts with stuff as it moves up across the map. West. Right, let's just cut across here. Let's head north a little bit. And I think once we're here, let's go to here. It gives us options in every direction. So now, something that rarely happens when I do these streams is we've kind of got a waiting game, just waiting for the next storm to form. That cell's refusing to die. So so they've sent me a lot, like really detailed explanations of how everything works, in terms of the sub vortices, which was similar to what I was already doing, but there are some nice tweaks here and there which I could do to make it more realistic. So I just need to clarify those things with Rainbow does stuff, and then I can hopefully add that in a new update. Do you think I can probably do that quickly before I do the object scatterer? Then put like the object scatterer and the updated subvotes in the next update. So, just playing the waiting game. These cells are refusing to die. Data, have we got any more data to analyse? No. Velocity, it's way off the map. Literally just wait on reflectivity. Could learn Morse code, even though it's harder because you gotta press the button twice to get what you want. 30-40 frames per second. And what's the spec on that laptop? Like CPU? I guess you don't have GPU. So which version of like integrated graphics is it? How much RAM? That'll be interesting to know. Is this cell finally dying? Because if that's dying... Yeah, it looks like it's dying. It means new cells will start popping up. There should be 2 cells as well. Well, they're dissolving? That almost looks like an anvil. But that's just an optical illusion. It just happens to be the clouds look like that. i5. Oh, 1135 G7. So 11th gen Intel. Okay, what generation am I on now with Intel? That's the Iris integrated graphics. So it's better than most normal integrated graphics. Yeah, I'm impressed that it can run 30 to 40 frames per second on lowest on a low end. Says me, yeah, i5 11th gen. Let's just Google it. Got my phone here. Current Intel generation. 14th gen. Oh, okay. What year was 11th gen Intel? Late 2020 for laptops. Okay, so we're talking something that's about 5-6 years old. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I want the game to reach as many people as they can. Just obviously hardware is always a limitation, and I can only optimize so far while still making the game look good. Oh, we've got our next cell. So yeah, thank you for doing that test, Neon. I should probably update the Steam. It's going to be difficult to update the Steam page because we've got 2 versions of the game, so the hardware requirements differ depending on which version you play. It's really similar to a GTX 950. Okay, so that must be quite old because I'm guessing when I had the GTX 1050 would have been the next generation after that, and even that was really old. So yeah, that's so it's good if people ask me what's the minimum hardware. I can say i5 GTX 950, 11th gen i5, and this shouldn't be too far wrong. Okay, let's take a look for a velocity couplet. We've got one already. Let's look there, right in the bottom left. Hope it's not going to immediately go off the map. Let's see. Oh, it's just going to go straight off the map again. Come on, you need to curve this way. This way. Go on, you can do it. Just click and drag. No, there's no logic in the game to click and drag tornadoes around yet. And then the other tornadoes on the map. Let's just watch the couplet. I think that's going to go off the map. Oh, sorry, Real Swift, I didn't see your question there between the messages. Will players be able to pick between the original map and a randomly generated one? Not in this version yet. I do want to port the original map over, but just the way that this game just works completely different. So the map's split up into 500-meter chunks, which load in and out of memory. So I'd have to take the original map. I'd have to do a lot of conversions. I can use as a completely different set of textures, completely different set of vegetation. So some of that would have to change. But I do eventually want to port it over so people can choose like the legacy map from the 2023 version. But that's going to be quite far in the future. Oh wait, there's another tornado just touched down. Oh, there's a tornado touched down just to our south. Sorry, let me stop yammering on. Oh, where did that come from? See, here's me talking about legacy maps and all that, and got an absolute beast just bearing out. So if we head east, okay, we're running parallel to it. So if we head east, we should be okay. Yeah, so I do eventually. I don't know in terms of timeline because there's so many things I still need to add to this just to get it more game-like. It's like still got all the career progression, game saves, controller support, which all need to be done before I even think about porting the original map over. But I would like that just for old time's sake. People are familiar with the old map, and it is a real-world location. So what I've called, I don't know if people know this already. I've mentioned a few times. So what's Pilot Hill in the original game is actually Pilot Mound in Iowa in real life, where they filmed the F3 scene, like the Twister Hill scene. There's also another few scenes from Twister. So some of the town names are actual names of nearby towns, like Stratford. Other ones, I slightly changed the name, so I think the real world name is called like Hawk Grove, and I called it Eagle Grove or something like that. And there's like Goldfield, which I called Silverfield, so it's either real or adapted things, but it's all based on that the area of Pilot Mound near Boone in Iowa. Right, let's see, where's me? Oh, it's turned north. It's trying to dupe us, isn't it? It's heading north. Will landfall clouds be added? Yeah, there can be. I need to add that to the Trello. Right now, it's kind of like best way I can describe it as a mountain of mashed potato. I think we have to deploy in the middle of a cornfield here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's manually deploy in the middle of a cornfield. Look at that thing closing in on us. Where's the truck? There we go. Right, now we just need to drive to here to get away. One of my AirPods is running out of battery. Let's just stick it back in the case. So yeah, I just need to figure out. I've even zoomed out all the way. I can barely get that tornado in view. I need to find a nice formula to add like an anvil in. I'm thinking something like Codex or ChatGPT could help me figure that out. Because I don't just want to stick an oval on the top of it, because that won't look very good. I'll need to come up with like a way to describe like the shape of the anvil. It needs to blend with the pile of mashed potato that's currently there, and add things like Momatis clouds underneath, and figure out like the offset, because since these are, I'll show you. I have to identify where the actual most intense part is, like the highest point on the cell, and then center the anvil around that. So it may or may not look right. It'll take a bit of doing, but yeah, it's definitely doable. But that's more of like an eye candy thing than especially one that you might not notice much while you're right up close to a tornado. But definitely on the roadmap, I need to add that to the Trello. Data. Oh, we didn't get much data there. That was rubbish. $51. Quick recall. Right, let's go for another intercept. So where am I? I'm losing my thing. Okay, it's down here. Right. We need to keep heading east. We get ahead of it. Deploy again. Maybe need to add like a circle outline so you can see where the tornado is. So you can tell the difference between like an active tornado and just like a historical trail I've done it before. Radar towers? could. I don't think they'd really serve any function, because at least the way the radar works in the game, it's you're the center of the radar. The radar emits from your truck. So I could add them as like a decorative thing and something which could get hit. But I don't think they'd actually serve any functional purpose in the game that wouldn't change anything. Right, I think it's coming towards us now. If we go a little bit more this way, let's see, if that continues that way, it's going to be there. So if I head a bit more south, east-southeast, this is a good one. Should I try and do this entirely in VHS mode and manually? So let's step out. No controller issues right now. Yeah, look. I'm quite happy with how this looks. Right, let's get this. I'm going to deploy it at the side of the road. And let's reverse away. It's more dramatic. It's always more dramatic when you reverse away. Whoops, accidentally did a J-turn. Maybe not then. Oh, is it weakening? Is that thing weakening on us right as it's getting up to the probe? Just drive a little bit. I don't think I have to drive too far to get out of the path. There's another tornado peeping out behind it. Should we take a look at the probe camera? See how well I placed that camera. Cool feature. Yeah, I'd have to think of a way of... Because it would be a shame just to stick the model in there and not have them do anything, but it wouldn't really make sense for if a radar tower gets hit to have radar coverage go out. Whoa, this thing's intensifying quickly. It wouldn't make sense because your truck's got its own radar. So I'd have to think of a clever way of having it have some impact in the game. Is this coming this way? I don't think it is. It's just got a really big debris cloud. Maybe radar towers away you need to drive to sell your data. I think we're safe here. Oh, I think we do deploy a little bit too far north. Let's see, if that drops down to 52, yeah. We missed it. Let's try again. Quick recall. Let's plan our next intercept. I can't even see where the tornado is. Is this it? Right, let's head north and then east and we'll plan for the next intercept. This one's getting quite weak. We haven't provided old data, but slower, it would cost money to buy or rent. I have to think about that, how it would integrate with data collection. It doesn't necessarily have to make sense for the game, like, it doesn't make sense that you hit a button and the probe teleports into the back of the truck. It just makes for better gameplay, so yeah. It's something to do with data, so either radar data, or the data you collect. Is this following almost the exact track of the... Yeah, look, it's following the track of the previous tornado. I think, does this put us in the path? I think this puts us in the path. This might be a good TikTok short. Now I just need to get out of there. And now let's see it from the probe's point of view. Any more camera filters? I'm talking like different types of VHS effects. Because I could in the original game. Your VHS camera was really bad at first with all sorts of glitching and artifacts, and you could upgrade it over time. I could do that again for the game. It's just an aesthetic thing, but if people think that'll be fun, and it'll be worth the time implementing, then yeah, I can definitely add different types of VHS effects to get like a clearer image, but still obviously like VHS 90s era, even at the max upgrade level. That could definitely work. So I think did it pass right over the probe? Yeah, it's on the other side now. Data, let's see what we can get. Oh, and somebody did ask if there's a way to hide the hood without having to put VHS mode on. There isn't. But I need to make... I should have like a notepad and pen to write these ideas down while I do these streams. Yeah, I should probably just have it so if you hit like F1, it toggles the hood. Should we try and intercept again along this road? Quick recall. We might be able to make it. The debris cloud makes it look wider than it actually is. Or does it? Or no, it looks like how fast I think. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to make that. Maybe if I go off the map a little bit. Let's head east-northeast. That looks more east to me. Northeast, let's get right in the path. We'll do a quick deploy. Right, let's start turning north. Do a quick deploy, right about here. Okay, then we'll get out of the way. Let's see what the probe gets. How far can I zoom out on this thing? Getting F1 strength already? I'm at a safe distance, we can just watch it from here. It's backlit here, so it looks ominous. Is that coming this way? It's hard to tell. One thing I could do as well in the settings is have like a post-processing thing so people can tweak like hue, saturation, exposure levels, bloom and stuff like that if you want to try and tweak the look of the game. Yeah, it's interesting about not seeing the tracks immediately. I was thinking of having that be part of the difficulty, so you could choose to have tracks disabled, which means you earn more for the samples which you gather. This is roping out on us now. So you can have them enabled so it's easier to intercept, but you earn less. Kind of like I think Kerbal Space Program does that, so you can like customize the difficulty level, so you make it easier or harder. But the easier you make it, I think the less you earn or something like that. Should we go after this one next? Let's do a quick recall. Where is that one? So I'm looking west-southwest. Is this it? Can't actually figure out where that is on the map. Let's just start driving towards it. I'm sure I'll figure out a path towards it eventually. Take this road, we'll go here, here, and then we should be near it. Like the lightning. Yeah, I can't take full credit for that. It's part of the weather asset I'm using for just kind of like the background weather, and I didn't realize I bought like an upgrade pack and didn't realize that it like upgraded the lightning as well. So like it came with like you buy like the base thing which does like basic weather for you, and then I also bought like an additional weather pack which adds things like these rain effects. I didn't realize it came with much better lightning than what it had originally. It looks far more realistic. Yeah, so I did have TVS indicators in the original game, really early version of it. I think I did have just like little upside down triangles, which give the yeah, kind of like a TVS to say the tornado reported here. Wasn't quite the same thing. Use the same symbol. You could see them dotted along the path of the tornadoes track, so you could place yourself in front of it. But then I kind of changed that for the tornado paths. Oh yeah, so like there's a really slow moving multi-vortex, so we can position ourselves like right here. That thing's moving really slowly. And I'm thinking I don't show any. The way the logic works is the velocity is based off the tornado, whereas there's a mesocyclone as well. So I'm thinking maybe the velocity needs to show up like 30 seconds before the tornado. Oh, is it starting to die? Don't die. Let's take a look at the environment. Okay, helicity. No, what? Okay, this is faking us out. It's actually going against the trend. What it's going to do? Did I just deploy accidentally there? What it's going to do is really rapidly increase in size and strength. It may even be doing that now. Yeah, watch out for this one. What it's going to do is it's going to do an El Reno where it just expands without any real warning. Let's look at the probe camera. Look weird because I've zoomed out so far. Where's the road? I've lost the road. It's to our right. I think we may be alright here. Let's stop here and get out and watch. What do we get? F2. Is that it? Yes, it's F2 strength right now. Right, I need to head east. Oh, look. Of course it would go up to F4 strength right after it hits the probe, wouldn't it? Just my luck. Look at that. Those subvotes are way too big. I think that's part of the problem. They should be much smaller. So if we head north, east, north, we can go for another intercept. Right, F1, let's not waste time just with the F1 sample. Let's do a quick recall. Then I said north, then east, then north, didn't I? Where's north? That way's north. I told you, look, go almost a wedge back again. I said, looked at the forecast, look, I said it was going to fake us out. Went this narrow little tube and then just multi-vortexed on us. I don't know, look, it's hitting F5 inside of it. And we're getting subvortices, look at that. I can... Right. Getting subvortices around it. I need to figure out a way to get in front of it. Right, let's focus on driving. I'm being distracted by the beauty of the tornado. I really like that one. It's all randomly generated, so even as a developer I don't actually know what every possible tornado can look like. Right, I think we need to go more north. So at least we're ahead of it in terms of north to south, we're still behind it in terms of east to west. So let's head north and then head east. Right, so if we take this next east option. So slow. Sorry, I will get back to the chat in a second. I'm just trying to get another good intercept in. Not sure if we're going to have much time for this one. We've got a lot of distance to close. But it's quite narrow at the base, which means it gives us a little bit more time. I think this is going to be a rapid deploy. Right, this is the risky bit going off-road, because the max speed is like 40 miles an hour off-road. So there should be another road coming up any minute. Okay, the winds are 88 miles an hour outside of the truck. Oh, I think I've got us stuck in the path of it. I'm gonna have to turn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn slightly north. Let's head northeast. I can feel it grabbing the truck. It's gonna be hard watching it, but yeah, I can feel the truck struggling. It's not responding to like my steering input or my acceleration as I'd expect. Right. Okay, we're gonna do a quick deploy in. Let's go east-northeast. Got another wedge over there. In 3, 2, 1.5, 1. Yeah. Okay. Let's switch to Pro Cam. It's already registering F2. Just gonna make sure I get out of the way of it. Look at that thing. Bit better contrast actually with the VHS effect. Alright, got a road here. Look at that thing over there. Got two beautiful looking wedges. F4, we're getting F4. Oh, that was a good placement, wasn't it? Got us right in the middle of all the vortices. F3. Just gonna keep heading south. Oh yeah, the Whirlwind of Jank video. Yeah, I've seen that. I've watched all of it. I can't remember all the points. I think there were some valid points. Like, say it's my first game I've ever released. It wasn't fully polished. I think there was some fair criticisms. I wouldn't say overall the game's a whirlwind of jank because a lot of people have played the game and enjoyed it. A lot of big YouTubers have done several videos on it as well. Yes, I think the title's a bit misleading. There are some, I think, fair criticisms of things like something like the engine sound that I used wasn't the best. Some rough edges, but I'll have to rewatch it and remind myself of what some of the criticisms were. But yeah, it makes it sound like the entire game is a whirlwind of jank, which I think is a bit misleading. But obviously, there's always going to be things that can be improved. But I've released the best game I could with the knowledge and skills I had at the time. Those have since improved, which is why I'm coming out with the second version of this. It should be worse. No, like, so I don't mind like reasoned criticism of the game. If somebody says like, oh, there's like a graphics glitch, or this user interface is confusing, or a certain design decision, I think if somebody has like a reason and explains why they don't like a certain thing I've done in the game, I don't mind that type of criticism. And the kind of criticism I don't have time for is when people don't really point to anything. They're just like, the game sucks, the developer's an idiot, this game looks like it was on the Super Nintendo, Roblox has better graphics, blah, blah. Like, they just throw out just like criticism without any sort of reason behind it. I can't do anything about it, but if somebody criticizes a specific aspect of the game that I can actually do something about, then it's fair enough criticism. There's no point criticizing something which is kind of unfounded. I don't need to be sorry. I thought actually it was going to be worse. Fair enough. Fine, it's a good question. One thing that kind of annoys me, at least on my YouTube, if I type in the name of the game, that's like one of the first results, which is a shame. But hopefully if I keep putting out videos, maybe one of these streams or clips from the stream can go viral, kind of push that down, because it does kind of cast the game in a bit of a bad light, but it's... But I don't know, if you search the game as well, there's some other much larger channels which have done videos, so maybe that counteracts it. I've got kind of a stovepipe now. Yeah, what is the line between like stovepipe and rope? Let's do a quick recall. Yeah, let's see, can we get any more anomalies? No, $39 for that effort. Okay, I'm thinking... Maybe is the vehicle... It's not the best. The turns can look strange. But, yeah. Oh, well, I didn't know that Edgar O'Neill said it was one of his favourites. He mentioned that he dropped in and visit, but I didn't know he said that. Yeah, what I'm looking to do is just continually improve the game bit by bit. Like, I had a feeling when I started again that I was never going to be able to release another version. I just kept thinking of the amount of work that needs to be done, and I kept kind of getting put off, thinking I'm never going to finish this. But over the last few months, I hit a certain point where it was playable, and then it's just a matter of just iterating and just adding a little bit of features, a little bit of polish here and there, and it's just incrementally getting better, which is what I'm looking to do. Make the game a little bit better each time. Looking better day by day. Yeah, thank you. I'm always trying to just small improvements, or sometimes big improvements as well. Like, if there ever is some sort of Tornado 3D simulation engine which is released for Unity, I'll switch to that. But for now, I'll use the asset I'm using, which isn't even meant for tornadoes. But a lot of work went into customizing this, so the tornadoes look. I think it'll look a lot more realistic, with more volume, depth to them. Yeah, and was that that would have been the 2023 version as well? So I would be curious what he thinks of the visuals in this rebuilt version. I haven't actually played Outbreak in a while. Maybe I could do an Outbreak stream if people wanted to see it. But the majority of my effort is, like I say, going on in this game. Kind of my routine right now is kind of wake up, go to work, come back. Got two children who obviously need time to sort them out in the evening after school and nursery. Obviously they need story time, tea, and things. It's nice to have a bit of time with them in the evening, and then after they go to bed and had dinner and stuff like that, and then start working on this, then do a stream, do an update, and go to bed, go to work, and kind of just repeat that routine, which seems to be working quite well for me so far. No signs of burnout or anything, so I really enjoy working on the game. But it doesn't leave much in terms of time in an evening. So once I've had the time with the family and doing like household stuff which needs done every day, there's not a ton of time, so I try and prioritise the game when I can. I'd definitely be interested in doing like a group chase, like if there's like a online like Discord or something we can join so we can chat and talk. I definitely want to join in. I joined a group. There's like a private group of people who just kind of mapped out. This was in the early days of Outbreak where you could actually map out each scenario, and kind of helped each other, and they helped me get the get enough intercepts so that I could get the Dominator. Vehicle engine is not the best. Yeah, so I don't know if it's the engine or how I've tuned it. I've kind of tuned it away from realism and towards just kind of, the car just kind of goes where you point the steering. I've put the friction on the tyres and beyond something that's what would be considered realistic. So maybe it's not so much the engine as how I've set up the vehicle. maybe that's something I can put in the options somewhere if you want to tune the vehicle and get a bit more realistic feel, so you can oversteer or understeer. Oh, in the original game, yeah, sorry, the audio loop in the original game, that was one of the big criticisms. There's a guy who does a YouTube channel called Worth a Buy, and based on his accent, I think he actually lives either in the same city as myself or one of the nearby ones. The northeast accent in England, the Geordie accent's quite distinct. So he did a review of the game, and he gave it a middle thumb. He's quite critical of games. He gave it a middle thumbs up. One thing that really put him off was the engine audio in the original game, because it sounds more like kind of like an angry bumblebee than like an actual truck engine. But yeah, if you search Tornado Research and Rescue Worth a Buy, you'll see his review of it, and yeah, the engine sounds is one of those things. But QA is quality assurance, isn't it? QA. I should probably know. I'm a software developer and I work with QA engineers all the time, but also it's like quality assurance. I would assume that stands for. How fast you're traveling on the truck's dashboard? Yeah, I should probably do that, shouldn't I? Yeah, that's one of those small things which just takes a few minutes. I can just throw in a sort of any sort of update. I could probably do that with the next update, but so the object scatterer, what did I say? There was something else somebody asked. I said I'll add that as well. I have to scroll up the chat a bit. But yeah, there's something, let me just tab out. Somebody suggested something earlier and I said it would be pretty easy to add. What was it? Oh yeah. It was, sorry for that pause, it was the sub-vortices as well, just so they show up a bit clearer on the map. So where is it? Down there. Oh yeah, there it is. Right. If we head down here, here and here, we should be in its path. So we'll take the next left. So I can see the chat scrolling past. Yeah. Yeah, couple my proneness to distraction along with trying to drive a truck, track a tornado, and keep on top of chat. End up forgetting things. So I can see the chat scrolling by, but I want to make sure I'm actually getting a good intercept. Look at that. The base is so narrow, that's going to be hard to intercept. But we'll go for it anyway. We'll take the map to another in 30, 60, 100 miles an hour. Yeah, so right now in the game, the truck's capped at 90 miles an hour. Can't remember why I chose 90. Might as well have just made it 100 to match that. Oops. But yeah, let's just kind of give you an idea of the thing. Great group, non-competitive, very fun group. Yeah, definitely be interested. I don't know if you've got a Discord. I'd love to do join in a live chase. On Outbreak. It's been a while since I've played, so I'll have to literally dust off my controller. It's actually, I'm just looking at it now on my desk. It's almost grey, just from the amount of dust. I only really use it for playing Outbreak. Let's go right here. So yeah, literally just the controller off. Join the Discord. We'll have to, yeah, I guess one of the logistical challenges we'll have is just the time zone, with me being essentially the UTC time zone. Oop. Let me switch to my other headphone again. Right, this is threading the needle here, but yeah, I'd love to do that. Set up a day and time, and I'll join the thing, join the voice chat. If you want to make a video. Right, am I in the path? It's widening and it's got sub-votes. Right, I'm gonna have to wait till the last possible second. Just wait, not exact location, just say it. So, town is Newcastle upon Tyne. It's in the northeast of England. It was originally, like, back in the day, like a coal mining town. There's actually a saying called, what was it, shipping coals to Newcastle or something like that. It's just a saying which means you're wasting your time because there's a lot of coal mines around here. So it's a way of saying you're wasting time. Also, the Queen at the time, apparently, whenever the train would get near Newcastle, she'd request for the blinds in the train to be lowered because she wouldn't want to look at it because apparently it's such an ugly city. I'd like to think it looks a bit better than back in. I'm not sure what time that would have been. Late 1800s, early 1900s. I don't actually know the history of my own city that well. Oh, got another tornado. We'll go for second intercept. Let's see how well I've placed this one. So yeah, the town, it's like 55 degrees latitude, so we don't get a whole lot of daylight. Winters are quite long. Spring is still quite cold and can be quite wintry even in March. And it can be quite rainy into April, so you don't usually get nice spring days, so maybe end of April, maybe even into May. Is it getting closer, or is it getting wider, or is it doing both? Yeah, so yeah, I've made myself actually a little English. Yes, some people mistake my accent for Scottish, which is fair enough. Newcastle's about 80 miles maybe from the Scottish border. Some people have said I sound Welsh, but I think it's just people who aren't familiar enough with the Welsh accent, because that's something that's completely different. Yeah, part of the motivation for building this game is because the chances of seeing a tornado are quite low in England, even though it's more likely if you divide like the number of tornadoes by land mass. I think, did I completely miss that deployment? Oh, I completely missed. Technically there's more tornadoes by land mass, but the tornadoes, what classes a tornado is like a weak funnel. Something that would barely register on the Vegeta scale, so I'm likely never going to see a wedge tornado in the UK in my lifetime. So yeah, I've actually made like a little countdown to spring, so I've set different milestones. So I've got like marked on a calendar for when we'll get 8 hours of daylight, 9 hours of daylight. Each time the sun sets at like half an hour later or rises half an hour earlier. Where the temperature hits certain thresholds. Just I need some way of coping with the winter until we get back to spring. Yeah, just I got interested in tornadoes. I think I got interested in them just about the right time. So it was early 90s. So right around the time I got interested in them, like the year before. Let me think. The first tornado documentary I saw had footage of the Pampa, Texas F4, which was 1995. That was probably broadcast. Yeah, I probably got interested about 1995, 1996, because I remember going to see Twister a couple of times when it first came out. I was 4 years old at the time. And yeah, that's been an interest that's just stuck with me for life. So I was 3 or 4 when the first interest was hurricanes. That's just because I didn't actually know about tornadoes. Once I knew about tornadoes, they immediately became interest when I was 4. Now I'm 33 now, and that interest has never left me. I think essentially part of this is creating the game in a child who always wanted when I was about 8 years old. I remember when I was about 8 or 9, I went through a phase where I pretty much watched Twisted daily. And I remember wishing there was like a tornado game. The closest I got was, I think it was Microsoft Flight Simulator 2004, or it might have been Microsoft Flight Simulator 1990, no, Flight Simulator 98. One of those two. Oh, this thing is really tricking us out, isn't it? It's like, oh, I'm gonna change direction last second. Yeah, all it did was generate like a static tornado, which is essentially like, it's just a 2D image with some transparency added to it, and it'll kind of like debris cloud animation. That was the closest I had. I still spent hours playing on with that thing. Oh, one thing, I'm seeing some good questions here in the chat. Let me just distance myself from this tornado. So, if you could magically move to the US, truck a car of your choice with all the equipment you need, would you storm chase? Oh, definitely. If this game can make enough money, I'll go to the States to storm chase. Because it will be useful to gather some reference footage, and also experiencing like a tornado myself, other than like through video, maybe help me know what aspects of the game to update since I've actually experienced it. So the truck car of my choice. So I'd want to either drive. I probably wouldn't want to drive a Jeep Honcho because those are what dating back to the 80s. I'd need something reliable. I probably would want to drive a Ram, just for the shout out back to Twister, like the reference back to Twister. I want to drive a Ram. It has the car I drive here in the UK, we don't tend to really have big gas guzzling pickup trucks. So the car I've got, it's 3 cylinders, 1 litre engine. It doesn't sound cool. Whereas there's actually somebody who lives nearby who owns like a Ram, and you can just hear it before you see it. It just sounds so different to the UK cars. It's just got that low rumbling growl of the engine. It sounds legit. It sounds like a proper vehicle. So yeah, I definitely want to drive a Ram if I could. The equipment, probably just what do I use? Is it radar scope or radar omega? Let me check. Radar omega. So I'd want that with an internet connection, reliable truck, some sort of like mounted cameras. Where it depends. If I was chasing with somebody, they could just take care of photos and videos. I'd want to be the one driving. I think there'd be something cool about driving, being the one driving during it. But if I was chased by myself, some sort of like dash-mounted camera or window-mounted camera that I can just point well to the tornadoes while driving. Plus, probably just a load of food to snack, because I imagine there'd be a lot of driving. Just heading this way. How are we doing on data? So these last few intercepts have been quite difficult. When were you born? Like, oh yeah, I don't want to dox myself. Yeah, I was born in '92. So I first saw like a it wasn't a documentary actually, it was just a short news clip about a hurricane. I remember just being amazed by it, like just seeing houses have roofs ripped off, gas stations, just like the shelter sort of area kind of blowing over, and just being mesmerised by it. So when I was 3 times around 1995, then yeah, around 1996, I remember seeing the documentary with the Pampa, Texas tornado in it. That was the first real tornado footage I think I ever saw. Pampa, Texas footage, which is good because Thomas Grzoulis did say if an F6 tornado has ever been captured on film, it would have been the Pampa, Texas tornado. So a good one to be my first tornado, I guess. Yeah, then '96 Twister came out, and then I think I didn't lose interest in tornadoes, but they weren't like my primary interest for a while. Then I think I'm trying to remember the year. Maybe around 2000 to... Let's do quick deploy. Maybe somewhere between 2000 to... I think it's there. Maybe 1999, 2000. I got interested in Twister again. And then kind of like a big... then I think it was back in like 2009. I got interested. So there was... what's the thing called? Find the Tornado. No, what's it? The first place to do live streaming is it's run by Corey Hartman. So I was watching that around, I think it was around 2009, 2010. But then I just kind of got frustrated because it was hard to watch the live streams because of the time difference, and I don't think I ever actually saw a tornado, and then I kind of lost interest for a while. Then when it would have been, it was right around 2019, it was right before the pandemic, that I got interested in Twister again, started tracking down the filming locations, making replica sensors, and then, oh yeah, because it was around then I also found the Storm Chasers game as well on Steam, and then the Storm Chasers game got abandoned, and that kind of pushed me to do this. So yeah, it's been one of those interests which has just kept reoccurring. Can't actually say I was in the United States for when El Reno happened, but several states over I was in Nevada. Right, now quick recall, I still don't think I'm right, and yeah, there we go. Listen to that wind. Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying you're trying to dox. I'm saying me doxing myself by giving away too much information, like city, date of birth, and things like that. But yeah, even with city, date of birth, I think it would still be reasonably difficult to track me down. Let's just watch this beast. I will have to end the chase after this because it's 10:30 local time here, PM, so I do need to get some sleep then before returning to work tomorrow. Got a pretty important bug that I'm working on, not necessarily fixing, but figuring out the root cause. Can't give too much information away about it, but yeah, got a lot of programming and reading code and troubleshooting to do tomorrow. Oh yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, me not thinking, I might accidentally say it without even thinking about it. Don't worry, I'm not saying you're trying to dox me. What I'm saying is, you ask the question, then I'll overshare information, and then somebody else will watch the live stream, and then maybe I'll get my first stalker. Actually, sadly, it would actually be my second stalker. You're an author? Not as far as I'm aware. I did publish a PhD thesis, but not a book. I do hope one day you can subject responsibility. Yeah, I think it's one of those things you definitely want to be fully prepared and know exactly what you're doing before doing it for real. It's kind of hard being in the UK to build up that experience, but I think even maybe I can this summer go out and do some just chase the local thunderstorms, get used to looking at an outdated radar while navigating around a cell, navigating roads, different hazards. I think that's coming this way. I'm cool. Cheers, I'll take that compliment. Appreciate that. I think you're the first person to call me cool. Yeah, one thing so a while back I did have an offer from I don't know if it still stands, but what's his name? Habib Zargapur. He did he did special effects for a lot of movies, but he like pretty much invented tornado rendering for the movie Twister. And he did actually offer to have a call with me to discuss game design and tornado rendering, but then he had to work. He had some sort of job he had to do, and I had a bunch of stuff going on at the time as well, and was never able to actually have that call. Once the game's in a bit more of a ready state, I might ping him and just politely ask if that offer still stands. So I definitely wanted to take him up on it, but things kind of didn't work out at the time. This is awesome. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you. I'm assuming 1885 isn't your birth year. If it is, congratulations on being the oldest person in the world and knowing how to use YouTube. So yeah, sorry, I will have to end the stream. There's still loads of cool stuff happening, and I'm really enjoying the engagement and chat with people, but I definitely do need to get some sleep before tomorrow. It's 10:30. I need to be up at 6 a.m. So I've got to make sure obviously I can't allow this to interfere with my day job. I need to be sharp and ready to do calling tomorrow. Yeah, no, I'm just joking. Just usually when you see 4 numbers at the end of someone's username, it can sometimes be the year of birth. That was a thing. I think that was a thing. Early 2000s, early internet people used to do. How old would you be if you were born in 1885? You would be 145? Yeah, no, I'm just joking. I don't think there's actually somebody from 1885 using the internet. Even though I guess we can't always rule out some sort of time travelling. Some time traveller uses the internet somehow. That's the thing, even if I was like plopped back in like 1885, let's say, I know how to use a computer, have no idea how to build one. I understand the concept of electricity, no idea how to build a generator. Like, I'd be completely useless if I was dropped back in time. It'd be, oh yeah, there's all this cool stuff in the future. No idea how to build any of it though. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble incoherently. I definitely need to get some sleep. So, thank you everybody for joining. I'm going to end the stream here. I forgot actually to push the update. What I may do is do a silent update where I kind of just push the update but don't kind of write about it on Steam. Maybe I'll write it up tomorrow. So, yep, good night everyone, or good morning or good afternoon. Thanks for joining, and have a brilliant night, brilliant day.